This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on, boys?
What's going on? How are we feeling this afternoon?
How were we on Twitter where somebody was like, you guys got to stop this. You got to stop saying it's must win. And then halfway through the game, you're like, they're terrible. And then when they pull it out, you're like, you change your mind again. And you're like, here we go. So after what we witnessed last night, where are the heads at?
Yeah. A win is a win is a win. Right, like you guys always say, you don't criticize a win, but man, you can criticize the first 50 minutes of a win. You're right. You can't criticize the outcome in the end. But I think all you need to know is the polar opposites of reactions. Craig Barube in the first period. If you're a fan, you just look at that. You're not overreacting. If you're yelling and screaming at the TV,
it was appropriate.
Yeah. If you're in the building, just say, go look at the coach. That guy is losing his mind based on the way this team started. One shot. Outshot 7-1 almost 12 minutes into the game against a Chicago team that was depleted based on injuries and discipline. And the Leafs had been called out and their leaders, and they're at home, and they did not have a very good homestand. And yet, in the end, it turned into it went from one of the most disappointing games of the season to one of the more memorable games of the season. I think it's a footnote game now. I think it's a game that people are going to remember. Oh yeah, Matthews, and he pointed to his ear, and oh, that's right, Joshua scored a big goal to close it, and Barube blowing a gasket. It turned into a very memorable game where if it kept going south and they lost, all bets would have been off, and people deservedly would have been freaking out.
I like that Austin Matthews did that hand signal to the ear. It was like some emotion. It was like, okay, you guys want to boo us? We deserved it, but let's kind of get some mojo going here and raise the roof a little bit. I had no issue with that at all because I got that today. It's like, who's Matthews kidding doing that? I would have done that too.
Well, when they earned the boos, but they earned the cheer. That's the ultimately. Hayes, I've got to be consistent because I always say it's hard to criticize a win, but this one's thin. It's a thin, because you're almost there, right? You're almost going, I want to criticize
there's almost an exception here for this one.
But I'm not going to because it's like Joseph Wall looked good. I think there were some good performances. I thought the top dogs were not very good until they showed up. But
Matthews at the forefront of that. I had a tweet locked and loaded of our boy Sam Mitchell, 0-0-0-0, because he didn't have a shot on goal. He didn't have a hit. Yep. He didn't have a block shot. He didn't have anything. And I agree with you. Oh, I loved it last night for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, the hand thing. I'm not going to chastise or sit here on my perch and try to convince, jaded Leaf fans, disappointed Leaf fans that they should feel differently than the way they feel. I totally get why you would say, wait a minute, this team hasn't won anything. This team's killing me. They've been awful this year. Matthews has been terrible, and you score once and you're going to give us the, hey, where are the boos? I understand where those people are coming from. I get it because I heard the same thing from a lot of people. I'm getting sick and tired of this. How dare he? What is he thinking? For starters, it wasn't overly egregious. He didn't moon the crowd at center ice. He grabbed his ear for a second.
Yeah, and if it's okay for Patrick Kane to do that in Chicago, Austin Matthews is allowed to do it in Toronto.
Right, and listen, him playing to the crowd, here's where I think it lands for me. If he did that and then in the celebration was bitter and was shaking his head, he wasn't. He was jacked up. And that's what fans are asking for. I think, it's been disappointing from my standpoint this year, and I'm curious where you guys stand because we spent all summer talking about it, all September talking about it. I put my stake in the ground for 34 and said I think he's going to come back raging. I think he's taking notes, and anyone thinking he's done or that he can't play or he can't play with Mitch or Barube is not, he's going to come out and torch all of you. And I was dead wrong. And I've been dead wrong through 32 games. He's not even close. Not even close to the top guys in the league. He's not even close to an Art Ross, a Rocket, a Hart. By his standards, he's been terrible. And I'm surprised by that. But he clearly didn't listen to everyone in the offseason. But he heard them last night. And the fans, maybe they can take solace in that. Like, be loud. Get loud, because it's respectful. They weren't throwing stuff on the ice. They were booing. They should boo. That's the way it works. You play like that, you're going to hear it. And I like the idea that he finally showed some life. Because that's what he's got to show. You got to score, and you got to show some life, because he's played with exuberance throughout his whole career, and it hasn't been there this year.
Yeah, those goal celebrations where he's like crouched over and he kind of like fist pumps and clenches his fist, and it's like that's real emotion. Like when he's cooking and doing that. But even sometimes this year he scored, and it's just kind of his arms go up, and it's like that's not the guy.
And he was jacked, man. He did the year, but then he was jacked. Like, and that's what you need. He's got to come alive, man. The mob was calling you out last night. You got to go out and respond. And he did it. Yeah. And I like it, man. I show a little bit of emotion. Go out there. I think he put his captain's hat on after the game, which he should. Right? That was because I heard the cheers. You got to play the game right when you're talking after the game. You got to be careful. You can't get crazy and start, calling out the fans and saying this, that, or the other. But here's the reality for Leaf fans. If he came out and all his teammates came out and said, we hate all of you with a passion, and then they went on to win a Stanley Cup, Leaf fans would say, I love you so much. I love you so much.
Fine with
and
that.
Even if he showed up at the parade and said, we still hate all of you, and we wish none of you were here right now, everyone would give him a standing ovation and say, thank you, you're the greatest Leaf of all time.
Yeah, where's your statue going?
Where's your statue going? Because that's all people want. Go out there and score, play well, and win. And it wasn't there for 55 minutes, but the last 5 was electric.
It was weird. Like, sometimes you do need a good bounce. Sometimes you do need something good to happen on the night where it's not going well. And, I thought the goalie interference challenge, like that ended up well. Like, that was close, man. I thought it was a lot closer than people think. Like, I was looking at that. I'm like, the puck was there. It was behind the pad, but it was loose. And so they got that, and they didn't respond to it. The legs didn't go to them. Like, there was a couple things during the game where you're like, okay, now you could see the legs will get going, the minds will get going. They just didn't have it, but they found a way. And I've got to be consistent. In the standings, it's 2 points. It's hard to criticize, but there are things there that concern you, yes. But maybe we come back. Maybe this lights a fire. Maybe it shows some passion. Maybe it helps with the confidence of the group. These are giant maybes, but we'll take it. And you take it and you move on, because I keep saying this daily. There are other teams that are winning in the conference, in the divisions, all of that. You just gotta take care of what you can control.
Do you guys all agree that if that goalie interfered, if that goal counted, it was curtains?
It was not good, because there was no life in that building, guys. Like, there was.
That was a Tuesday. That's what I call a Tuesday night special, man. They got the first 2. People started getting pissed off, and if that goal was allowed, it would have turned into an absolute circus. Mm-hmm. A circus.
And no Bedard, too, right? So ticket holders are already bitter. They want to see him play. If you're going to lose, at least allow Bedard to light you up, so you can go home and say, I saw that live.
Yeah, right? you take it, though. You take it to the bank, and then you respond. You need a better game your next game, because the opponent's better.
Yes, you're off to Washington. I think another question I have that comes out of the game is, like, what does Craig Barube have left in his bag of tricks? Like, he's playing every card, snapping, losing it, timeouts, calling people out, yelling one shot, like repeatedly. He like everyone was getting shrapnel last night. Domi got it. I felt for Benoit because he was standing on the bench, so he had to kind of acknowledge it. Like if you're sitting, you guys know you can kind of get down, where he was standing and felt like it was directed right at him, which some of it probably was. But what else can Barube do?
Well, doesn't he go back to his own seat in his office and say, I yell at these, like I try to get the message to them, and they're just not. Like,
so why not? Like, how does he get it across? Because something's got to give.
I think you keep pushing, guys. Like, the thing is coaching is a nightly, an hourly thing. Like, it's like being a parent. It's flat out. I've said this before.
It shouldn't
be, Jamie. Being on a coaching staff. But guys, we're all parents now. I wasn't a parent when I was a coach. Now that I'm a parent and I look back at what I did as a coaching career, I felt like a parent. You're constantly, don't touch that, don't do this, don't do that. You're constantly managing that particular situation. So Chief was coaching the hell out of that group last night. There wasn't much there. So you're yelling, you're screaming, you're trying different things. It worked out. I think what you do is positive reinforcement. Guys, tape burner, let's go into Washington, let's see what we got here. Because there's so many different things. Eventually you get tired. We all know our kids tune us out. Daddy's yelling again or whatever. Mommy's yelling again. Blame it on Steph. Mommy's yelling again. Like, it's just, you gotta, to me, coaching is such a it's a cerebral game. And I think Chief is, all I could think of, guys, I don't know, I'm getting long-winded here. Do you remember last year he was looking for 4 minutes? Remember his fingers were all bent and he was doing that, like, 4?
Yeah.
Last night he was doing the 1 and his finger, I was like, that was an intimidating, like,
that
1.
Finger
like,
has hit so many people square in the face. It's scary.
Exactly.
And I think, listen, I guess what I'm saying is, I appreciate the fire. You got to have it, and you've got to there's ebbs and flows. You can't yell and scream all the time. Other times you got to be supportive. But, like, the actual execution of whatever is being asked is still, again, they got caved in, and their power play, yes, he scored. Matthews' goal was on the power play. They've had a couple recently, but it's still 30th in the league. They still give up a ton of shots, and that's got to be on Barube to figure that out. Like the yelling and screaming and being ready on time and all that is important, but he's got to get these guys playing better because they're staying above water. They're keeping their head above water.
Yeah.
They're 15, 12, and 5. It's not a great record by any stretch of the imagination, but they're in the hunt.
They're in the hunt. But you guys know what's ahead of them. Like, if you could think of a possible scenario where a team's had a schedule that says, go ahead and get ahead of the pack, they've had it, man. Mm-hmm. They have had it. All these home games against crap teams, and look where their record is right now. So guess what's happening the second half of the season? They're going on the road, and guess who they're playing against? Quality teams, man.
Yep.
And it's going to start on Saturday night, or Thursday night, actually.
Yeah, they're in Washington tomorrow. They've got Nashville and Dallas on this trip, and Nashville's one you got to get, clearly. But, it's a tough building to play in, and it's we'll see. But Washington and Dallas on the same trip is very, very difficult. And you still got to go through Colorado and Vegas and Western Canada. And, there's a lot of really difficult trips that they still have. They got to go through California, which is not easy anymore. There was a dip for a few years. There's no dip anymore. It's going to be challenging. They put themselves in this spot. And yet, teams win, and other teams lose in the East. Montreal lost again last night. And, Pittsburgh's kind of in the wild card race, and there's the Oilers going in there and just putting on another clinic, and they dummied them last night. McDavid had another cut through the team goal last night. Like, it's almost like, remember Hack-a-Shack in the NBA? Like, when do you start just two-handing that guy and say, we'll take the 2-minute trip, try to beat us on a break, on a power play? Like, right here, just Hack-a-Shack. Like, I can't imagine it's that far off, because this is 4 or 5 games in a row he's done this.
Look at those defensemen. They're just helpless. They go one way and they're screwed, man.
Yeah.
Well,
like he did it last night. He did it multiple times.
Did you guys not feel for Skin, man? When he's standing there and they all were celebrating, I was like, that sucks for the Stu.
Oh.
Yeah. He got torched last night.
Guys, he did. And I felt bad for him because there was like a libero done on Twitter. He was 7 feet away from the scrum at one point, like literally 7 feet away. The scrum kind of actually made its way over to the crease. Watch McDavid, though. McDavid looks at him, turns away, and you could tell he was feeling like I felt bad. Stu turned it back on it at that point. But, like, did part of you, I don't know, I thought about, if Stu gives him a tap on the way by, would people be pissed?
His teammates would be like, screw you, man.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, this guy's been in the fight with Leon for most of those 1,000 points. Yes, you don't want to give it up, but it is a special circumstance. I'll give you an example. Ovie breaks the record. Remember they stopped the game? Sorokin signed a stick for him, went over, like they took a picture together. It's a different context. But this just happened. They were teammates like 6 days ago, a week ago. Like it is. I felt for him because Edmonton, that wasn't a 6-4 game. Edmonton gave up 2 moldy ones at the end, but like they dummied Pittsburgh. They really went after them pretty good.
Yeah.
But I felt for Stu. I felt
for him too. And that vision, like, listen, it was going to happen. Draisaitl's on fire right now. He had 4 points.
Yeah.
Like he was getting 1,000 points last night. And Skinner must have known that. But it was the nature of it. It's awkward. It's somewhat symbolic, of the run too. Like he's a big part. Yeah. They love that guy. You saw them after the game seeking him out, hugging, and Knobloch was right beside them, which I found a little bit strange. McDavid and Draisaitl were doing their goodbyes, and Knobloch was like lurking 2 feet away.
Just standing there against the wall. Is Knobloch 8 feet tall?
He looked
Did you see how
massive.
Tall he looked in the background?
Massive.
I'll tell you one thing. That's Stu Skinner. He's pretty calm about his game. He was like, I was a little bit nervous, and then I kind of settled in, and I was thinking, like...
That's his mentality. That's his
approach.
It
is, because he got lit up, man.
Yeah. Wow. The celebration was tough. There's nothing. I don't think he can get in it. Like, personally, I'm with O on this. I think if you're Skinner, you look the other way, you skate to the other corner.
Yeah.
You're not an Oiler anymore.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would have done it. I would have been laying in the corner and just in the fetal position. My point is, would people have been mad? It was more a question back to you.
It is a valid question. I think it depends on the generation. Like I spoke to Doogie earlier. Doogie's an advocate for Stuart Skinner getting right in the middle of the thing. Like, get right in there and start patting him, take your helmet off, and congratulations.
Doogie lives in his parents' basement.
Yeah, Doogie's out to lunch.
Like
why
I was
would you
shocked.
Why would he even admit that?
What?
Doogie thought Skinner should have been leading the charge for the celebration for Draisaitl.
I'm going to give you an opportunity here, Doogie. Please. You thought that Stuart Skinner should have got involved and went into that celebration?
Well, not essentially that. Just to be around it, just give him a tap at the end.
Dude, go back in the basement.
That wasn't how it was
back in the basement.
To me, I love
That's
Doogie.
That's not the way you describe it.
So he just lied.
Flabbergasted by his reaction to that last night.
What is his original comment? He said he should have got involved right in the middle.
Yeah, like basically act as if you're still an Oiler. That was my interpretation. Like you're right in there. One of the boys.
You said that, Doogie.
I did say that, yeah. I felt for Stu.
Now he's admitting.
I felt for Stu.
You're not alone.
I felt for him too.
Doogie, you're not alone, man, because it was a scenario where there's Jari gets the win and he's off with the Oilers. And
dude, that was a tough one too. When Jari came in the pack, it's like you've been there 3 days and he's jumping in the pack in front of the other guy.
Crazy. And you're riding shotgun with a team that's absolutely red hot, and McDavid and Draisaitl are the two best players in the game right now. Now McKinnon had a great night last night too, and the Avalanche won again.
Where's Jari? Did Sears?
There he is, right there.
Way to go, boys! Good stuff, guys.
I love you guys.
Love you, Jars. That would sting if Draisaitl said like "love you, pal," and it was just within earshot of Skinner. But I'm curious where you guys think the ceiling is for Draisaitl on the all-time list. Can he get into the top 10, in your opinion, top 15?
Like a top 10 player of all time?
All time. Because he's already, in my opinion, he's got to be in the top 50, top 40. I don't know.
Dude, 100%.
You got to do some winning, though, right?
Okay,
we always judge whether fairly or unfairly. You got to do some winning, though.
Yeah, but Jamie, there's players in the top 50 that have never won a Stanley Cup.
I get it. Listen, I flip-flop on this all the time because, one of the guys that I admire as much as anybody in this world, Jerome McGinley, he's got gold medals, but he didn't win a Stanley Cup. And, I think he's one of the greatest players who ever played. But it's when people talk about it, it's like, well, that guy won. This guy had this, that. Like Draisaitl, I don't know. Is Germany going to win a medal? Is like
maybe they can medal. They're not going to gold. I don't think.
I don't think that has anything to do with it, man. I think that he is.
That's fair.
That's fair. He's just one of the things that's special about him is just how unique he is. Like the way he moves around the ice, it's almost like it's not like graceful, but he's got this attack mentality, and the way he protects the puck. And just the way he gets open. And obviously, Connor McDavid has been a massive part of this guy's success. because they go out there in the power play, and I don't know how many times McDavid, I mean, you watch him live, you watch the replays on the power play, he is looking to dish it over there for that low one-timer all the time. That is option number one.
Yeah.
It's like if a QB is checking off certain things, his first go-to is Draisaitl open. So McDavid's been a big part of his success, but I think the sky's the limit for this guy. I would have to talk to the Quizmaster because he is so knowledgeable about what's happened in the past and what guys have done and what's going to happen in the future. But this guy, I could see him just soaring up as like very high. I don't know how high this is, but I have the utmost respect for his game.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I agree. He's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yes.
He's so different because he invites contact in a game where guys don't like to get hit. Guys don't want to go in tough areas. He's like, bring two onto me, and then I'll find the open man. Like that's why he is able to excel in the playoffs, because his style of play suits the playoffs because he's physical and he's got a little bite to his game. I don't know, Hayes, you always talk about winning. That's why I brought it up. But I do think he is as good as anybody. I think he would be a top 50 player for sure right now.
Like I'm looking at a list here. Most recently, The Athletic put one out, and I'm sure they surveyed 1 million different people. And it's
is this an all-time list?
Yeah, it's obviously very subjective. But you look at it, like number 51 on the list is Mike Modano. I've got Draisaitl ahead of him, but Modano's won a cup. And Modano played 1,500 games and a ton of points. Like, Modano's a great player, but I think I'd go Draisaitl. I think, Patrice Bergeron. I'm going Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Yes. Who's 30?
Well, you get that high, you get into territories like, well, here's a good one, Sergei Fedorov. Who's better?
See, I think Fedorov might be. Like, I shouldn't say might be. I think Fedorov was, but I also think Draisaitl's story's not done yet.
No, exactly, and he's still going, and he's got another 10 years.
Right. Like Fedorov
Joe Thornton,
was.
Bobby
You played
Clark,
against him.
I think he's going past those people, to be honest with you. I would put him ahead of those guys right now, with all disrespect to them.
But like Brian Trottier, Peter Forsberg. Like, that's the area. That's what we're talking about if he's in that world.
That is the area he's going to be in. But I honestly think when it's all said and done, if he can keep trucking like the way he is, I think he's moving ahead of those people. He's that good.
I think he's got to win, though. I'm with Noodles. I think you got to get a cup. I think you have to. And
you just mentioned Jumbo Joe. Why?
I agree. Well, I think he's better than Thornton. I do. Even without, just right now, I think Draisaitl's a better player. Like, you give me their A game on a night tonight, best game of their career prime, I'm taking Draisaitl.
Yeah. I'm taking Draisaitl's best game over Sergei Fedorov, and I played against Fedorov a long time, and he's so good. But I think Draisaitl's that good, man.
Well, but it's a good debate to have, because now he has put himself into that special player. Not that he wasn't, but that special player debate where it's like this: how good is he? How good can he be? I love his temperament. Like, he's got some snarl to him. Like, you can tell he competes. He gets pissy out there.
Yeah.
Remember Jim Matheson went at him why he's so pissy? Like, he gets pissy out there. I love that, though.
Yeah. He's a great player.
That says to me the guy wants to win. And his playoff record, yes, he hasn't won, but if you look at what he's been able to do in the playoffs, like that's
an important
not
detail
a drop
too.
off.
And I think that's
right.
where, to be fair to him, yes, he hasn't won. His points per game in the playoffs are like top 5 all time, I believe.
Right.
Like,
it's
literally it's like
impressive.
Gretzky, Lemieux, McDavid, Draisaitl. Like, I think he's the most clutch player of this generation, like in the last 10 years. Maybe short of Sid.
Right.
McDavid's been there, but Draisaitl's been, I think, just as clutch. Like, prior to the last 2 years, he was. Remember, McDavid was hurt the year they went to the second round against Anaheim. That was all Draisaitl 7-8 years ago.
My brother just sent me a message saying Leon's single bar play back in the day would have been
Well, he is a handsome guy too.
Dude, he's 6'5". He looks like a model, and he's just an NHL stud, and blows darts when it gets late.
Well, you see their shirts last night for
those shirts. I want a hoodie, man. Oilers. If there's an Oiler hoodie made with that logo, or either do it or we're doing it ourselves.
I'm going to see if I can, what's funny? I have to pass on a message. So I did study. They're that T-shirt.
I
Look
love
at
that he
that is
embraces.
unbelievable.
You got me. I was at I think it was his own wedding. He's like, I was at my own wedding.
It was his own
blowing
wedding.
darts.
Yeah, his own wedding, blowing
Yep.
a dart. But I did Strutty's show today, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, I've been waiting by my phone. He goes, what is it, Wednesday now? He goes, didn't get the call. And he goes, why wasn't I on Monday's show? And I go, I don't know, maybe Edmonton won.
Let's
I
cold
said, that's
call that
probably what
loser
he goes,
today. Let's cold call Strutty today and see if he answers.
He was put off. He's like, why didn't you have me on the show? And I go, I don't know. I said, if Edmonton loses 3 in a row, you're the first call.
First guy we call.
They won Saturday. We're not calling
We're
you.
not
It was so
letting Strutty
funny.
come
He was
on
like put off.
Dance on the graves of Maple Leaf fans. No chance.
No,
We know what his attitude
he
will
was
be.
so
We'll get him
rattled.
back. We'll have
Exactly.
Strutty on. That's not going to be a problem. We got a
he
lot
was-
of time for Strutty.
No.
All
And
right,
believe me, there's lots of fires to put out.
absolutely. Dylan Strome coming up. Leafs in Washington tomorrow. We got Ray on the show. Ray Ferraro will join us. Jerry's Percentages in just over an hour. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I need you to hold on.
OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Get the World Juniors in action tonight. Oh, look at you doing a little panel work, a little tune-up game.
Yeah, I mean, replacing Bobby McKenzie tonight. This is usually his territory. I got to have my A game.
Got to have your A game.
Yeah.
You got to have some inside
Love it.
info. You've been talking to the Hunters or what? You got any scoops?
Let's get to our next guest.
Okay. So you're an analyst guy. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
it.
an analyst guy.
Analyst guy. It's all good. Well, we got a guy on the line who knows all about playing at the World Juniors. Multiple times at the World Juniors. Obviously a Erie Otter, I believe, won a Memorial Cup, certainly an OHL championship with the Erie Otters. Played with McDavid there, and he's not playing with Ovie and the Caps, and they're having a great run right now. The Leafs are in town playing Washington tomorrow. Here he is, Dylan Strome. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me on. Unfortunately, we lost in the finals of the Memorial Cup to Windsor, the host team. So that one still stings. But we did win an OHL championship, so I'll hang my hat on that.
Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm looking at your hockey DB, and I can see the championship crown beside the Otters, and I could not remember on the fly.
DJ Smith's Oshawa Generals, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was that Sorelli on that
Yes.
team? Who was on that team?
Yeah, Sorelli, Michael Del Cole, Dakota Murmis.
Right. Yeah, well, he's a Leaf now, Dakota Murmis. He just got hurt. But, well, you guys, I mean, in Erie, that must have been something. Like you and McDavid, I remember going to see you play Oshawa in the finals. I guess it would have been that year or the year before that, I think. And, like, what was that traveling road show like when you'd play, obviously, at home in Erie, but when you'd float through Ontario, you two playing together, and how great that Otters team was?
Well, I appreciate you lumping me in there, but it was quite the circus going to different cities, especially that year. I mean, especially the second half of that year, because I don't know if you remember, but he broke his hand like early, maybe like mid-November, I think it was. So he missed like a month and a half, and then his first game back was actually at the World Juniors. So the second half of the year really picked up, and it was pretty crazy going to a bunch of different rinks. And I feel like the OHL fans are usually pretty good, and most teams get really good crowds. But when McDavid was there, it was quite the traveling circus for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you beat him in points that year. You played 21 more games, but you got him. Right.
Okay, I'm going to hang my hat also on that. I didn't forget that either.
Absolutely. Leading scorer in 14-15 with Erie. With Dylan Strome, and we were just talking about Draisaitl actually hitting 1,000 points last night, and after the game he had the picture of him smoking a cigarette at his a wedding, and he's a character. And the guy you play with, Ovechkin, man, we love seeing the shots of him get on the plane with the Subway sandwich, and he's got the bag of chips.
Yeah, he always gets the chips too, man. I love
loves
that.
the
I respect that.
You have to. I mean, what's he like? What's Ovie like, just kind of hanging out on the plane, on the road? What's this guy like behind the scenes?
Yeah, he's just the best. I mean, yeah, he brings the. You can usually tell on how his previous game went, because if he gets the flaming hot Cheetos, then he probably had those the game before and probably did pretty well. But if it didn't go so well, then he just gets the regular hot Cheetos. So that's kind of the superstition that we all joke with. We kind of go through his Subway order as soon as he gets on the bus and see how much we can remember about it. It's quite the event when he gets on the bus with that Subway. But he's just one of the best guys ever. Just a guy's guy. Wants to hang out, wants to go for beers, loves watching soccer, loves sushi, just a good hangout at all times. So when there's something going on, that Ovie's going to be there. That's for sure. No matter where or what time, on the road or at home, he's going to be there.
I love it. Dylan, at what point did I know this is much publicized, but before you guys go out for a game, there's like a routine in the hallway, and Ovie's there, and there's shoulder bumps with Tom. Yeah, I mean, at what point did that develop? Has it been around for a while with all different dressing rooms, or do you feel like you guys started it in Washington?
I think most teams would do something similar to that, like kind of when guys because when there's the clock counts down, I think we go on ice at like 16 minutes on the clock. So usually around like 20 minutes, Ovie goes and turns off the music, and then he goes in the hallway, and then guys kind of filter in. And I think most teams kind of do something similar where they're waiting in the hallway before we go out on the ice. But I think just with the Caps, kind of posted almost every game that what they do, and now they're yelling stripper and Banzamaker dance for Chikrin, and Ovie is doing his thing with Carlson, like talking about chicken parm, and then Tom goes out there and they're like, I think they're trying to actually knock each other over. I think it's been going on since as long as I've been here. I think TJ Oshie is a big reason of that. He's a big cause of that. He's a big handshake guy. So I think I'm thinking kind of when he got to the Caps, that's kind of when it all kind of started. But I don't think he's changed in a long time. So he kind of adds a few new ones every time a new guy comes out there, and usually every time we're playing a team that a guy has played for, he does what, those effers don't want you, but you know what, we want you, baby. And then he sings the whole song, and everyone kind of chimes in. So it's just something to keep the mood light. I mean, he's probably the guy I play with that can keep the mood light pretty much at any time. So it's definitely a welcoming environment and very fun to be a part of. Just always singing and dancing and singing songs and enjoying life.
Stromer, how is everything settled down at home? I know you experienced something in Montreal that was like real life. Everybody, when they have a child, they obviously want to be around like at all costs. Like, can you just take us through that experience, and just when you got home, how relieved you were to see your family after having your baby?
Yeah, that was quite the experience for sure. I mean, my wife was 3 weeks until her due date, and it was funny because we had a 9-day road trip the week before that, and then I was home for 15 straight days with the exception of Montreal. So I figured that if it was going to happen, I was going to be home for it. It was going to be, fine timing. We had a back-to-back in Montreal, so we played Wednesday night at home, flew after the game. She had nothing going on all day. And then Thursday rolls around. I get off the ice for warm-up. I talked to her right before I got to the rink. She was fine, nothing of concern. And then I got off the ice for warm-up, and our team services guy, Rob Tillotson, called me over to the side. And it didn't really click into me right away what he was about to tell me. But he just said, your wife's at the hospital. Like, do you want to call her? And I'm like, I guess I better call her, yeah, and see what's going on. So I answered the phone, and she's basically having a contraction at the time I answered the phone. So I was like, well, I mean, what am I supposed? I'm just sitting here in Montreal in the trainer's room, about to play a game. I can't get home in time. There's no chance I can get home. So I talked to the nurse, and the nurse kind of told me, I was like, can you give it to me straight? Like, how long do I have till she's gonna have this baby? And she goes, maybe 5 hours. And I'm like, well, my fastest route home is through the team plane. So I was like, I'm just going to go play the game, and hopefully I can make it home in time. And I got off the ice after the first period and checked my phone. I think that's a reasonable time to check your phone in a game. And she sent me a little picture with my third little girl and just said, "Hi, Daddy." So it was pretty crazy, the whole thing that happened, but it was incredible.
That's crazy. That is awesome. And I mean, typical road, like you said, you're at home, you're going to be at home, you get the one game, you float up to Montreal, and then obviously it goes down. And people are writing in saying, I don't know if your wife is from Philly, or do you have a father-in-law who's a Flyers fan or something like that? And you got to deal with that?
Yeah, he's a Flyers fan.
Yeah. What's that like to handle within the house? Is he willing to give that up and be a Caps fan now, or what?
Yeah, he's pretty much a Caps fan now, but he definitely is a Flyers fan his whole life. But I think I converted him to a Blackhawks fan first, and then now a Caps fan. So I know when the Caps are playing the Flyers, I'm pretty convinced that he's cheering for the Caps.
Okay, that's all you can ask for, right? That's all you can ask for sure. With Dylan Strome, the Leafs are in Washington tomorrow, and you guys are really rolling. I mean, it's been such an up and down year for seemingly every team, not named Colorado and maybe not named Dallas, I guess. But, I mean, you guys maybe had a bit of a slow start, but you're really back on track. Last year you guys were unbelievable, top team in the East. And your head coach is a guy that, is easy guy to like, easy guy to root for. And he seems to be poking all the right buttons. I mean, what has happened with you guys in the last month and a half, 2 months that has you looking and playing like you did a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, last year it kind of just seemed like everything, clicked at the right time. Like it was obviously with the goal chase and everything that was going on surrounding our team. And, we made the playoffs the year before that on the last game of the season on an empty net goal when the game was tied. So I just think, we kind of just built off that momentum and just had an unbelievable year last year where it seemed like we didn't have any injuries pretty much the whole year. Like everyone played. I think there was like 9 guys that played all 82 games. And we were scoring goals like I've never been a part of a team like that before. So it was a lot of fun. And then this year, like you kind of said, we had a bit of a slow start. And then we just had a meeting about 20 days ago, I'd say. And we had 39 days till Christmas, and there was 20 games. And Carbs kind of laid that out for us. And it was kind of like a huge part of the season because of how tight the Eastern Conference was. And I think we kind of just buckled down and went on like I think it was 10-0-2 stretch. And we stumbled a little bit the last couple, but I think it was 10-0-2 in those 12 games since we had that meeting. So it was something that we knew we needed to dial in on, and like I said, with how tight the Eastern Conference was, I mean, we lost 2 games, and now I think we're like in a wild card spot, and like last week we're in first place, so it kind of goes up and down. But I like the way our team's playing. I like the way a lot of the good things that our team is doing, and it's a lot to look forward to for sure. It feels like every time we go in a game, we have a really good chance to win. Doesn't matter who we're playing, so that's a good sign to have for a team.
Stromer, I don't expect you to kiss your coach's ass on national television because that just wouldn't be the way things should be. But I'm a big Carberry fan. He looks, and I'm just talking about by watching him on the bench, how he handles situations, how he looks like he's in control. I just think he's a fantastic coach. Can you just speak about him a little bit and how he's been the last couple of years since he's been your coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's very intense. He's a really emotional coach, and I think. I think any time that you have a coach like that, the wins feel really good, and the losses, they feel like they hurt a lot more than like a normal coach, I would say. And I think that leads our team to success. I think, we go into every game and he kind of lays it out on the line of why this game is important and what our team needs to do to be successful. And, it's hard to argue that he hasn't gotten the most out of his players. I mean, not a lot of people picked us to be a good team, maybe even a playoff team last year, and we kind of flipped that script pretty quickly. And this year, I think the expectations were a little higher than last year, and I still think people were kind of questioning, how are we going to be able to repeat it? Are we going to be able to sustain the offense? And it's like you said, it's been a little bit up and down, but I feel like overall our team's been pretty consistent, and we've been missing Pierre-Luc Dubois for the majority of the season. I think he's only played 6 games, and he's a huge part of why we were so good last year, just the way he plays on both sides of the puck. And then Ryan Leonard, who was our rookie this year, it was really just hitting his stride, and unfortunately he got hit pretty good there by Trouba in Anaheim. And so we're missing 2 players that are a huge part of our top 6, really our top 9, and so we're battling, we're fighting, but lots of guys have stepped up, and we're going to need to continue to do that because the schedule doesn't get any easier for us. Basically, when you're playing the Eastern Conference teams, everyone feels like they're still going to make the playoffs, so it feels like every game's even that much closer.
That's where I was going to go. How's the schedule been for yourself? I mean, it feels like it's either practice day or game the next day, like every second day. Has it taken a toll on the guys? Have you had to manage the body a little different this year?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it pretty much it feels like every, it's either a back-to-back or or we have a day off where it's a practice day. Luckily enough, we negotiated in the CBA a day off per week, so that's always nice to have. So we find one or two of those in there a week, and but you kind of have to, just with how condensed the schedule is, because obviously there's 3 weeks off of the season this year with the Olympics, so I think it's like 20 days. I think most teams are getting off. So when you got to cram every single, I think we have 16 games in January. So like obviously the 31 days in January plus a couple of back-to-backs in there. So it's tight, but I think most teams have to deal with the same thing. So, like I said with Carberry, every game feels like it's, very, very important, which it is. But, those dog games, games 40 to 65 or so in the season can kind of be a little bit of a lull. And I think that's where last year we kind of just took off and kept our foot on the gas.
Well, we'll see what you got in store tomorrow night. Leafs back in town. They were just there a couple of weeks ago. Leafs Caps tomorrow night. He is Dylan Strome. Great catching up with you, Dylan. Really appreciate you doing this. Obviously, congrats to you and the fam, and we'll do this again down the road.
No problem. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it, Dylan Strome.
Tell you, those Strome boys know how to talk, do an interview. His brother was fantastic earlier during the Jays run. He was fantastic.
Awesome guys, man. Great details.
Good family, eh? Like good guys.
Yeah.
Good
There's a lot. Like I was going to ask him, it's uncomfortable to an extent, but like the Hughes stuff with the brothers in the league, and do you guys think that way? Is that something you emphasize? Like him and Ryan. Ryan's obviously in Anaheim. He's very comfortable and playing great in Washington, but there's just so few brothers in the league. You know what I mean? Like it's such a rarity that there's 3 Hughes brothers. At one point there were 3 Stahl brothers. And you got the Strome brothers, the Kachuk brothers. It's actually kind of crazy. There's 4 or 5 or 6 of them, to be honest with you. But anyways, great interview, and he's playing really well. And Caps are they're a team to be reckoned with, man. Like they dominated the Leafs 2 weeks ago.
Team. Yeah. Hayes, you just mentioned the brothers combination. Like I often think about how cool it would be to be a dad to sit down after work and watch your kid play in the NHL. Like imagine Mr. Stahl back in the day watching 3, almost 4 of his sons on a nightly basis. Like every night you're watching a kid play in the NHL, if not multiple. That would be pretty cool.
Crazy.
There was, I think Pittsburgh had the Joseph brothers, so Matthew Joseph and Pierre Oliver Joseph played in Pittsburgh. I believe they played together recently. Was it St. Louis maybe? I can't. But I did a game because Matthew Joseph was playing for Ottawa, and him and his brother got a penalty on each other. He went to hit, and his brother high stuck him, and they both were in the penalty box, and the parents were sitting in the crowd going like, "What's going on?" It was kind of funny, but like
I watched
brothers,
Keith
it is
Primo
rare.
in Hartford fight his brother Wayne, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
That's a wild trivia.
But it's
Like
great.
I was injured that game, and I remember watching it on the TV, and I'm like, okay. They kind of paired off, and I'm like, they're going to have a laugh and separate. And then they dropped their gloves and started fighting. And I'm like, Mrs. Primo is going to be so pissed at those two.
Yeah.
And he came right in the locker room, and he called her.
Yeah, and I think she was pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Because Keith is the older brother, I believe.
That's
He
right.
would be the one that would take the heat for that, for sure.
And Keith Primo was a good fighter, man. He had a reach on him. He was fun to watch fight.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah, the Tanev brothers, the Shen brothers, Nylander brothers, Jackeye brothers, Joe from the Bridge. There's actually a lot of them in the league. It's crazy, man. Like it's like a decent percentage of the league is made up of family members. All right, Ray Ferraro coming up. Ray in about 20 minutes. Jerry's percentage is still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
You guys see Ja Rule hitting the Tom Kite shot?
Unfortunately, I did. Yeah.
Dude, Ja Rule, after this shot, you can't play in a gallery again, man. Like, you can't do it.
No, it's one of the worst. I don't even know what it is. Not a ceremonial first shot or something.
No, it's a celebrity. It's Derek Jeter's celebrity tournament, and there's just a bunch of people around, and this guy sculls one sideways into someone's kneecap. Dude.
Did you call it, is it a worm burner then?
No,
what do you
it's
call it?
worse, dude. It's a full skank ball. Shank, it's...
Yeah. It's a Healy cut shank.
Look at this. Watch this go right into a guy's kneecap 10 feet away from him.
But, oh, God, man, that sounded horrible. That broke
Play
that guy's
one
knee.
more time. The
That's 100
sound
miles
of the
an hour off
guy's
the knee.
shin, play it one more time, Joe. It sounds ridiculous because you're not look. The guy's probably got a camera up and he's looking to videotape this guy and he sculls it off of his leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is so painful. That is so painful.
The people in the background
the people in the background is the best reaction to that because they're like, oh my God, I can't. First of all, they're like, I can't believe he did that, and I'm so thankful I didn't do that.
Well, you know what they're really thankful for? That they're smart enough not to be anywhere within range of Ja
Look at that
Rule.
view. Watch this view. This view is insane how dangerous this is.
Dude, this is Ja Rule, okay? It's not Scotty Scheffler. What is anyone doing within range of this guy being able to hit a shank?
Go right at someone's pills, right off the tee. It's insano.
Oh, my God, man. That is dead right.
Dude, but you saw, like, Hayes, wasn't there an Australian tour player that lost an eye at a Pro-Am?
I think you're right about that.
Dude, he was playing in a Pro-Am, an Australian, he might have been on the DP World Tour, and an amateur Pro-Am playing guy hit him in the eye, and he lost vision in his left eye.
Crazy. Dude, it's a
dangerous
sport.
game, man.
Yeah, like if you're not there's a part of me, yes, I empathize, but I'm also thinking you're an idiot because what are you doing anywhere close to being ahead of the tee box with Ja Rule teeing off? Right? This isn't some guy who's a +4 and he's a pro at some club.
Dude, it doesn't matter. We've seen Tommy Kite do it at the U.S. Open.
I know. At least, though, with a professional. Because I get, wincy, man, when I see pros, you'll see Spieth in some crazy area and he's trying to hit some big, swooping cut. And there's a gallery that is 3 feet from his line.
Dude, Spieth did that this year at the Memorial, I think it was, where he just zung it over someone, a group of people's head, and they didn't even flinch.
Right. But if he doesn't get that up, if it's flighted, he can kill somebody.
This is insane, this guy. If that hits somebody in the head, they're down.
Yes. And Ja Rule, look at that. Doesn't even go over to check on him.
No.
Where's J-Lo?
Check, please.
Yeah. Because I'm real. He's like, I'm out of here is what I am. I'm leaving. All right, hour 2 coming up. Ray will join us. Jerry's percentages. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
I like to welcome all my to the world-famous Murder Inc. show. They call me the Mighty Rule. How you living?
Hour 2 Overdrive continues. Powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan, Ja Rule, our boy, our guy.
Love it.
Bringing us in this hour after.
Do you think he tees it up again, or that's enough for somebody to quit, isn't it? I think that's how Chuck Barkley's struggle started. I think he hit somebody, man.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Really?
I believe that's what led to the yips and the weird swing and everything, is he hit some guy playing a Pro-Am. And it's terrifying. I've played in the Pro-Ams. You've played 9 holes. I've done it. It's a struggle, man. There's people walking around. There's kids and stuff, and
it's the same thing. I used to go to I went to Dougie Gilmore's bowling tournament one time, and he had a charity bowling tournament, and I went to bowl the ball down the lane, and I fell down on the lane. I wiped out. And the guy said to me, he's like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "You're a professional athlete." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm not a bowler." And he goes, "That's the most ridiculous." And I said, "Look, I used to play hockey. And everybody thinks because you played one sport, you're just, falling down on a bowling alley is extreme."
That's tough, man.
Yes.
That's a really bad look for a pro athlete.
Thanks. I know
I'm just
that.
pointing it out.
Yeah. But the idea of saying, well, you're a
Saturday Night
professional
Live
athlete, why are you a garbage bowler? It's just, it doesn't make sense. That's how anybody that says, oh, you're a professional athlete, how come you can't do that? The nerves at golf are way different than any nerves playing any sport. I could play hockey in front of 7 million people and not feel anything. And if you put me on the first tee with 10,000 people there, it's a totally different ball game, man.
It's so different, and especially if they're in front of you. You know, it's one thing when they're behind you, but when there's people around the green, and I've had that. It's like, guys, I have a 7-iron in my hand. You think I know exactly where this is going?
This could go anywhere, man.
I could snap hook this right off some guy's head.
Yeah, you could snap hook it and have it go backwards down the wrong fairway, if you know what I mean.
Yes, you could. I've seen it.
Yes.
I know it. All right, Ray's coming up
you,
here.
Ray
will have a bunch of these
guarantee you Ray's
stories.
had something like that.
100%.
For sure.
I want to quickly bring this up because I saw Mark Feinsand, friend of the show, MLB Network, reporting that Bo Bichette has informed suitors he's willing to move to second base.
That means his market is soft.
Exactly, man. Like that. Yeah. If I'm in the camp of go get Tucker and Bichette, this is music to my ears.
Yes, this is your chance to strike and get that done.
Yes.
Get him on a 1-year deal or something and make it happen.
Exactly. Tucker's going to cost you a lot. Tucker's not going to be a 1-year deal, or a 3 or 4 year deal with opt-outs and all that. He may get opt-outs based on that's what he asks for and that's what he wants. But that'll be an 8 or 10-year deal at $350, $400, whatever I would think. Bichette, though, if there's no market and he's already admitting, okay, I'm not playing short, it's more than likely I'm moving to second base. That's where, if you're the Jays, you hope the market shrinks. Maybe you sign Tucker, and if you want to get greedy, you call up Bo Bichette possibly on February 1st and say, hey, pal, we'll give you the 3 or 4 year deal. You can opt out after the first year. We'll pay you $25 million this year.
And it's an opportunity for you to get in shape, get healthy, and get fit, and have the best year of your career and prove everybody. And then you can cash in. Big time. Because next year's free agent class doesn't look great. It's exactly what Alonso just did. It's exactly what Bregman has done. And it's a big part of the way baseball operates right now. And I don't know. I was reading some stuff on ESPN today. People still thinking the Yankees are lurking on Bichette. They might trade Chaz Chisholm and possibly, insert Bichette to play second base and possibly play short. They don't love the shortstop there in New York right now. Certainly the fans don't. But I don't know. I think it's not. It can't be perceived as a great sign if Bo is calling people or his rep is, hey, all right, we get it. This is the whole shortstop thing may not be in our future. Oh, when there's a different narrative pumped out there from either the press or from his camp, you know that the market is softened. That's exactly what's happened. Yes. Yeah. And you can't love this getting out, right? You can't control it, but I bet you it scared a couple teams away. In which way? Maybe. Like just for the fact where he's like, oh, forget about me playing short. Maybe I'm not a shortstop. Like they're like, what is this guy like lowering his own kind of expectations for the club or whatever? You know what I mean? Right. He's concerned about his own value. Yeah, because before Bo Bichette was like, I'm a shortstop, man. Obviously in the playoffs he played second base. But when you kind of just change the narrative like that, it's like teams are going to be thinking, is this guy desperate all of a sudden? Right.
But don't you think some of the teams that are sniffing around him, might go, are you willing? Are you willing to slide to second? If we can, if we're talking about a boatload of money on a long-term deal, like, are you willing to, if we got a second base spot for you, are you willing to slide there? Like, what is your willingness? Are you going to come in and piss and moan about it and say, I just want to be shortstop? Like, there might be other teams looking at him and saying, if you slide over there, we'll look at it. Like, it opens up, to me, it opens up other suitors potentially. It could. There's all kinds of pissing and moaning that goes on too. I mean, when Bregman got to Boston, like there was the big thing about who was the third baseman in Boston that got all pissy. He got traded to San Fran. Yeah, went to San Fran. Yeah. I'm blanking now on his name. I know who you're talking about though. He was a great Red Sox. He actually had a really good run with the Giants. Anyway, Doogie will look it up and find his name. But yes, Bregman got there, and it was Cora who said, you're not playing third anymore. You're not going to be the third baseman. Yeah. And imagine how pissy you would be if you were like the third baseman for your... Yeah, Devers was his name. Yeah, Rafael Devers. And you're the third baseman, and they trade for a guy that's never been there, and it's like you're moving for him. That would piss me off, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, it led to Devers basically demanding out.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah.
And Boston deciding he's got to go. We can't have this guy around.
But he got pissy when he got to San Francisco. They wanted him to play first.
Yeah,
and he got all pissy there.
And he did end up playing first, but he was not ecstatic about that either. But he's getting paid. They paid him over $300 million.
Yeah,
Boston
no kidding.
did. But yeah, you got a scenario here with Bichette where we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it opens up other doors. You're willing to play second, but I think it's more likely it's teams are kind of telling you this is what you are. Like you can ask, you can think of yourself whichever way you choose, but this is the way it's going to go.
This is what we see in you.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what we see.
And the Blue Jays have effectively indicated that. Now he was hurt, right? But they weren't moving Jimenez away from short when Bichette returned for the World Series. Like that wasn't going to happen.
No.
All right, Jerry's a little bit later in the hour. We got Ray. Still no Ray. Okay, we're setting up Ray. We'll get Ray's take on the Leafs and where he's at and where they're at, and his take on the Matthews relationship with the fan base right now. And we've talked about it extensively the last couple of weeks. It's uncharted territory for him, for the team in the regular season. They haven't been in a position where they're getting booed in December and they're chasing the playoffs and they're on the outside looking in, and that's where they are. That's where he is.
Yeah, and the fan base, Brian, and they're still looking for that. And they don't have the excuse about the Oilers had where it's like 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row, and they do this every year, and they get to a point where they're like, okay, we've had enough, and we're going to start cranking it up. And that just kind of hasn't happened. Yeah. But I think the fan base is still waiting for it. Like, they're not just they're waiting for the team, but they're waiting for Austin to be the catalyst of that and flip the switch and say, this is going to stop, and I'm going to lead the charge here. That's kind of what you got the sense that they still believe it's going to happen. Well, there's hope anyway.
Exactly.
I'm still hoping.
It's better than apathy.
Yep.
There's a lot of apathy in the league right now. You go to a Buffalo Sabres game, I don't know if you're hearing a lot of cheering or booing or anything. They're just like, all right, we're there and we're watching, I guess. We got tickets and we got nothing else to do. So
that would be an interesting seat to go just see what that situation was like just to watch that and get a feel for that fan base, man.
Yeah, well, they're hoping now Kekalainen's the guy, right? That's what Dahlin said today. Yeah. What else are you going to say?
Dude, what a comment, though. Rasmus Dahlin, he goes, I think Jarmo's going to be the guy to turn it around. Like, give your head a shake with that comment.
You have to believe it, though. Do
you not think that comment is ridiculous? Like, maybe try to be a part of the solution yourself.
Well, that's true. Why are you relying on the GM? Yeah. You're getting paid a lot of money. You're the captain. Go out there and find
$11 million captain.
All right, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, here's our good friend Ray Ferraro. What's happening, Ray?
Oh, you guys are salty at the Sabres.
We're pissed at everybody, Ray. We're pissed at everyone.
Best of the season to you and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, hey, you guys must have read that thing, right? That since Scotty Bowman got hired in 1979, they've never had anyone be the GM in Buffalo that'd been a GM before.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't that seem like, how the hell does that even happen? Somewhere along the line, would you not go, we probably need an experienced hand here?
Well, Ray, what do you think of Jarmo going in there? I like Jarmo as a guy. Every time I see him, he seems like a good dude. I think he's a smart guy. But as far as him being the one taking over, what do you think of the transaction?
The reason I like it is because I think he'll hire an experienced group of people to be in the management position, to at least chart a path of whatever it's going to be. Whether you like it or not, there'll be a path to follow. This summer Kevin Adams is still the GM, and they hire Eric Stahl as an advisor. He just retired last year. I don't know that people understand, and I'm guessing they don't because I didn't get it until Cammie got hired. Now, Cammie got hired by Jim Rutherford, who's been around forever. And so she had somebody basically hand-holding her to, this is what your job is. This is the job description. This is in the job description. This is what we kind of head towards. And then you have to grow on your own. Like, who was going to show Eric Stahl what to do? Like, who was going to be able to do that. And I'm not picking on Eric. I'm picking on anybody that starts brand new. We all need somebody to show us where you take your first step. And if you look at Buffalo over the years, like remember when we'd go in and play them when Pekka was there and Lindy was there for his first time through his coach. Like you went in there and if you didn't play hard, they were going to run you out of the building. If you knew what they were, what could you say their identity is now? Like what are they trying to be? And the answer is I really don't know. And if you don't know, how would you ever win?
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge, Ray. Where do you think Kekalainen starts? Like, is it with the culture of this group? Like, it's 14 years. It's been a lot of good players have come and gone. I mean, what's day
Jamie,
one?
He's got to make decision on players. Like, you got to look at Owen Power and be like, are you a player or not? Like, or Tuck, you going to sign him or not? Apparently, Tuck wants outrageous money. I don't know how that got leaked, but they got to make decisions on what players. And I don't know, Ray, you go ahead. Like, there is so much work to be done there. It's insanity.
Well, I think the biggest mistake for any Sabres fans would think that Jarmo could make 3 moves and it would all be okay.
No kidding.
This is, at least he's been there and had a chance to look at what's going on, look at the players. Like you bring up Power. One of the things they did in Buffalo, for whatever reason, they signed all those guys that were 20 years old to 7-year contracts.
Yeah.
Like, why? What would be the thought? Where were they going to go? Were they going to quit and go do something else? Like, that's the time you could control their contract, let them grow a little bit and get a better sense of what they are. Because now those guys like Samuelson and him, they have 5 years left on their contract. And you probably still don't know what they are. So, that's certainly one thing to take care of. Noodles, I heard you talking about the other day about culture, and I'm with you, except the hardest part to that, and we've all played on good teams and, unfortunately, lots of bad teams. And so does the winning make a culture, or does the culture make winning? Because I don't recall playing on bad teams that had a great culture, like where everybody trusted each other. I played on lots of bad teams that had really good guys, but I don't know that we had any sort of winning culture. So I think you've got to decide, okay, is Lindy our coach? And if he's not our coach, who do we want to get in there? Because the coach is going to help you determine which players are part of this plan. Which players are part of the next couple of years going forward.
Well, then if Lindy's not your guy, Ray, go call up Peter DeBoer and get him in there then. And do it right away.
Okay, if you're Pete DeBoer, do you want to do that? Can you imagine and honestly, I mean, like with any bad team, could you imagine the work that you do just to barely get your fingernails on the ledge, that you're not falling in the water?
Well, the price has got to be right. You remember the offer that Toronto or Buffalo had for Mike Babcock. It was massive cake to get him to go there. It's just, if you're going to have to pay a guy, you're going to have to pay a guy. But I think it starts there. I think one of the things Craig Button has mentioned about the coaching in the National Hockey League, regardless of the status of your team, if you're the bottom dweller or you're rebuilding or you're a cup contender, coaching is so important to whatever situation your team is at. And they got to get a guy in there if Lindy's not going to be the guy.
There's no question. I mean, man, the systems, I guess, guys played when we played, certainly like even 10 years ago, there was no possible way the game was as structured and coached as it is now. There was no way. And if these young players, because they're still a relatively young team, if they don't have a direction on how to learn to be a real NHL player, then you just skate around and you do the best you can, and somebody yells about accountability, but you don't even really know what it is, and then you move on to the next game. And they're talented enough that they win some, they lose some. After all this time, they still haven't got the goalies figured out, right? Like
no kidding, man.
The lack of clear direction. Like when my brother-in-law was coaching there, Donnie, like they had Luukkonen, and then they had Devin Levi. So they had two goalies that had like 100 games in the league, and they were just getting their teeth kicked in. And then they went and got another inexperienced goalie. I think it was Eric Comrie. And you're like, holy, like, have they not seen that they probably need somebody there with some stability just so those young guys could learn at a more leisurely pace instead of just getting thrown over the deep end? Like, Noodles, is Luukkonen any good? Like, how would you know?
I like him. I
right,
like
but how
him,
would you know, right? Does he need more coaching?
Yeah.
Does he need better D? Like, what's the, like, doesn't he have the profile of a number one, whether he is or isn't? I don't know.
It's hard. I've said this before. It's hard even if you're a good goalie, you play on a bad team, you're going to look bad. Like, that's just how it is. You're a product of the group in front of you. But we were talking about it yesterday, Ray. Like, they've had Linus Ullmark played there.
Yeah,
like,
they had Jack.
Ray,
we were talking about how important the positions were. It was like they had Ullmark and they had Jack Eichel, and they both had to be removed from the situation, and now they're just dying for both. Crazy stuff.
I saw somebody put a lineup together
of what was there.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable! Like their first line was Reinhart, Eichel. I can't even remember, but I looked at the team and I was like, "Damn, that's a good team." If they would have done nothing, just sat there.
Yeah, they were loaded. They've had a bunch of really good players come and go, and you know, we'll see if they reset or not. But in terms of, you know, where you mentioned the Vancouver Canucks, and the dust is not quite settled, I'm sure, on Quinn Hughes. But can you give us an update? Like, what is the market doing? Well, how's everyone holding up with Quinn Hughes now leaving Vancouver?
There is a kind of almost like a pressure valve's been released, right? It became apparent Quinn was going to go, right? And you could see it in his face. I mean, you guys are watching the games too, right? He was just worn out. And once he decided that he wasn't going to resign, the biggest issue became, you know, how quickly could you get it done? So, like, if they would have gotten a bunch of lousy offers, then they wouldn't have moved him. And then you would have had that fiasco continue for months. So there's some people that are pissed at Quinn for leaving, for pushing his way out. There are some that are pissed at the management for not building a better team around him. Like, I think one of the great fallacies is when you have a really great player, and Quinn is that you hear this talk of, oh, they never built a winner around that great player. So that's the same in Vancouver as it is in Edmonton, as it is in Toronto, as it is in Boston with Pasternak. Like, it's not that easy. And
right.
if you make a mistake building around those players, then you got to make another deal to fix that mistake. And then now you've made two deals, and if that doesn't work out, now you take a big swing to fix them all. And then you end up in the ditch. And, look, a couple of years ago, it looked like Vancouver was trending to be a really good team. When you look in hindsight, Miller had a career year. Demko had a career year. Besser had 40 goals. Quinn Hughes won the Norris. Dakota Joshua had a career year playing with Garland. Like, everything hit.
Yeah.
And I think everybody probably felt, management too, that they're on the way. And as it turned out last year, it just imploded.
Ray, one of the things that I talked about yesterday was a big part of the reason that they are where they are, why all this stuff has gone down over the last year and a half, is their goaltender hasn't been healthy and hasn't been in the net long enough or often enough. I mean, they played a Game 7 with, a different goal. Yeah, Sheila. Like, he hasn't been that consistent health-wise. He's a great goaltender. And number 40 has not been the guy ever since the ink dried on that contract. And those are two massive reasons why this team kind of took that step in the negative direction. Like, I thought Pettersson, Ray, was going to be challenging McDavid for Hart trophies. I loved his talent that much. And to watch him play, it is so alarming. It shocks me.
I don't know where that 95-point guy went, because he's an exceptional player. He really is.
Yes.
And so I wonder, like, I look at Jonathan Huberdeau, and he had that 105-point season, and then never quite, well, not quite, hasn't been the same player since, for probably a bunch of reasons, but he just hasn't been. Pettersson has been much, much better this year, but the bar was really low for him. And so he was probably on, before he just got hurt, I think he was probably on like a 70-point pace. Like, I'm with you. They need more than that from him, from his contract, his position on the team. They need more. Now, can he get there? I don't know. Like, there are games this year he plays, and you're like, it's back. Like, that looks exactly like he did 3 years ago. And then other games it just doesn't. And that, of course, is concerning, right? Because he's the center. He's your best center by a country mile. Then you get to the goalie, and it's not even close. When Demko was healthy, Noodles, I always had him in the top 7 in the league before he got hurt. I don't know if you did. And then he's been back 3 games. He's got a .935 save percentage. Like, it's like a completely different team when he's in the net. Can he be healthy? I'll tell you, if I were the U.S., I would pick him on the Olympic team. He'd be my third goalie. Because I look at that and I go, if you get into the net and somebody gets hurt, if he's healthy, which he is, I think he's one of their 3 best goalies. What the hell does it matter if he didn't play last March? Who cares? I think he's that good.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question with, Hellebuck is now back, and Ottinger, Swayman, there's so many good American goalies, but
we're scratching and clawing for goalies. They called Noodles. They put Noodles in the testing program.
Dying up here. Exactly. He's getting tested out. Well, the way you describe Pettersson, if someone just tuned in while you're doing that, they would have assumed you're talking about Matthews.
Right.
It's
what's happened there, man.
Well, and it's a real debate right now, like how you evaluate it, because I look at what Boston has done here last year. That was a world-class retool. And I don't know if this is legit or real or where they're going. And I know they got a lot of guys breaking loose. Morgan Geekie at the forefront of that, but they just last year said, "All right, we stink. We're awful. We're trading pieces. We're bringing in prospects, picks, flexibility. We're going to change the way we look and feel. Coach is gone, blah, blah, blah." And look what they've done this year. The Leafs, I don't know, and I don't think they have the stomach for that, even if they're trending in the direction they're currently in. But, how you evaluate Matthews and try to project what he's going to be in the future is difficult.
Well,
you hope it's a 2-year blip like the one Ovechkin had back in the day. But what if it's not, Ray? Like, how do you handicap that if you're Trey Living and company?
The one word that's kind of popped into the hockey world describing players is engine. Do they have an engine? And Matthews' engine has gone. Like, his work rate is if you just watch the game, never mind what's happening, if you just watch the game, his work rate, in my opinion, has decreased over the last year and a bit. I don't think he works as hard away from the puck to put himself in position to shoot the puck. Like, that's his grade A separator ability, right? Is his shot. Mm-hmm. And if you don't work hard enough to get yourself into position to shoot it, then it's like it's a weapon in your arsenal that's just it's in your kit. It never gets out. And so that to me is the most confounding part of this whole thing. It should be the easiest to fix, but it hasn't appeared. Like, I have this vision of him way more tenacious, like losing a puck, lifting somebody's stick from behind because he skated 3 hard strides, spinning with the puck and either making a play or getting a shot. When's the last time? Well, last night, I guess. But how many times does that happen? Not very often. He used to be thought of as like this, top end defensive center as well. At least I felt he was. Now in his zone, he's got no breaks. He just kind of like roams around and like there's no stick your nose in it. Not that he's going to run people over. That will never be the case, and he doesn't need to. He's way too good. But I just don't get that part and where it's gone. Mm-hmm. But this all comes. Yeah. This started. We started with Buffalo and culture, and then we got to Boston. The thing in Boston is you can identify what they wanted to do. The guys they went out and got were all physical and fast. And they now play a much quicker game, a much more physical game. I don't know how talented they are, but holy, they make it hard to play against. And they've got a game changer, right, in Pasternak. Geeky's, 30 goals last year, signs a huge extension. It seems like he's just hungry for more. And I don't see that same sort of change from last year to this year. I know they lost Marner, but the guys they brought in are bigger and slower. They're not bigger and faster. Mm-hmm. Maselli's a bust.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you've, like, all of a sudden you're not quite as talented. Well, without Marner, you're not as talented. You're not as fast. Like, what are you? And that's why I think they play 4 or 5 good games, 2 or 3 bad games. And, they're kind of, that hasn't been identified for them.
Yeah. And now they hit the road. They're in Washington tomorrow. They're in Dallas a few nights from now. It's, they've had a soft schedule. It's not going to get any easier. That's for sure. Well, there you go, right? I think you sparked our spirits. Now we're all in great moods.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. That's me. That's something that's always been I've been described as someone that just uplifts people's spirits.
Absolutely. We love it.
It could be worse. It could be Ja Rule trying to hit off the tee.
That's true. You ever almost kill anyone at a Pro-Am, Ray?
No, but I have hit one like 47 yards straight down the middle, which is your ego gets beaten up. But that, are you kidding me? Cool. By the way, I think once told this thing, the greatest duff of all time on the PGA Tour. I almost thought, I thought you were the guy that sent me to this. It's Tom Kite.
Yes. Tom Kite.
Yes. Tommy Kite, U.S. Open. He just skank-balled it. He snap-hooked it right into someone's pills on the left-hand side. We play it all the time.
Yeah, it's our favorite. And the call is great because someone goes, that's a Gerald Ford shot. I don't even know what that means.
And Tommy Kite bending his knees, and he goes,
Yeah, he's wincing.
He's wincing.
It's so great. His caddy's mortified. It's an unbelievable.
It's the greatest.
Could you imagine going over there? They pick up this dude that got hit, and the caddy goes, "What club would you like from here, Tom?"
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We're about 425 out still.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you have a great holiday and through the new year, and we'll run into you somewhere.
You got it. There he is, Ray Ferraro. Of ESPN joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventure takes you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com. Jerry's percentages next.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
You're going to want to hear this.
Jerry's percentages.
I don't love being commissioner as much as I used to. I actually love it even more.
That's the voice of a Hall of Famer.
Are you kidding? Have you been out drinking?
You're all pigeons. Filthy, filthy pigeons.
It's Jerry. Gerry.
All right, Jerry's percentages brought to you by the College of Sports Media, turning your passion into your profession for 18 years. Practical training with instruction from industry pros. Book a tour at collegeofsportsmedia.com. You guys ready to hear from Jerry?
Go ahead.
Jerry Bell, Jerry Bell, Jerry Bell rock. Jerry Bells swing and Jerry Bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the Jerry
He hasn't been festive for a few years.
He is
like
hammered
that.
doing that recording. Terrible tone.
He used to sing all the time, Jerry. He loved the holiday season.
He did.
He loved it, and I like that. It's a little flashback. I mean, he's in good spirits, right? We see the Fenway Group sold the Penguins today for like 1.8 or 1.9 billion, and they bought it for 900 million or something like 4 years ago. It's pretty good. Pretty good
business. Speaking of singing, I remember we had like the 21 days. I don't know what we had. We had a ridiculous Christmas jingle, and I messaged Anne Murray if she could sing it and record it, and she told me to go to hell.
Yeah. Like, are you insane? You think I'm doing that for you for free?
And I can't even believe now, 10 years later, I asked her to do that.
Do you mind if we send you our own lyrics for you?
It was
Anne
like
Marie?
Jerry's 10 days of Christmas list. It was like 10 packs of darts, things at dinner. And she was like, I am not doing that. Sorry.
Blocked.
4 grinders.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
literally
so
stuff like
stupid.
that.
And she's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, sing it. She's like, I had no way. Don't ask me again.
I don't think so. Thank you for your inquiry, but don't ever ask me again. All right, Jerry, let's go. What do you got for us?
The Kansas City Chiefs will return to the playoffs next season.
Man, they've been there every year for a long time. Not going this year.
I'm going to go 85. No, I'm not going to go 85 because I do not know the health of Patrick Mahomes' leg. So I'm going to give it a 50-50 shot. I don't know what kind of changes they can make. They've got a strong defense. They've got Patrick Mahomes. Luke talked about the weapons that he had at his disposal this year, and they still didn't get it done. It was like they were married to that, 17 total points a game. Like, they never blew teams out like they used to.
Same thing last year, but they found a way to win all those games.
I know. So I'm just going to give them 50%.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I want to go a little higher. The only reason being is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. You're right. The health of the leg is concerning. But it's Patrick Mahomes. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Is this Kelsey's last year?
I don't know. It kind of feels like it will be. Well, I guess we'll see. But, would you be shocked if Kansas City didn't really want him back anymore?
Yeah.
They'd never say it publicly, but would you be shocked if privately they were ready to kind of cut the cord and move on? Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be. He's not, he's not what he once was, and he's going to obviously demand a good price. But, yeah, I mean, it's a young man's game, man. The NFL, it's a vicious sport. Denver's not going anywhere, I don't think. I think the Chargers are going to keep growing. Tough division. I'm going to say 49%. I'm just under the 50. You can't go much lower than that because it's still the Chiefs and Mahomes. They deserve so much credit and respect. But I do worry about that knee and if he's going to be ready on time. And if he's not, how's that possibly going to work?
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's tough.
All right, Jerry, what else you got?
Everyone knows Hayes is a stooge and a Scrooge, so chew on this one, Hazy B. Connor McDavid will win the Art Ross and the Hart this season. Man, him and Duffy and the Quizmaster sure screwed that one up.
I love how Jerry is now in on your false statements. Because did you not say on the quiz that McKinnon was better than McDavid? I thought you did say that. I swore I saw that.
Did not say that. McJesus, I have always stood up for him and his family.
Okay.
But I love this Jerry's percentage.
Him and his family.
Yes.
What you're a confidant?
I'm connected to the family.
Yeah, you're the godfather for McDavid now.
The godfather.
Okay. Come on, let's go here.
I'm going to be high on this one because I think the comments that you three made, it pissed him off. It really pissed him off, and I think he wants to prove everyone wrong. And he has just said, "Watch me fly." He had a comment last year. Somebody asked him if they thought he was still the best player in the game, and he said, "When I'm at my best, I like my chances." And he is at his best right now, and he is horned up for success. I think he catches McKinnon.
He's 2 points behind him right now.
We caught him last night for a few minutes.
At what time the biggest separation was between these two guys? That would be interesting to know. Because for anybody else, it would be no way in hell they're catching that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they said last night on the broadcast, it was like a week and a half ago, he was 12 points behind McKinnon. He caught McKinnon last night, but then McKinnon had a 3-point night, 2 goals and an assist. McKinnon's now a couple up on him. But, this guy's been on fire. It's two points a game for the last 12 games or something.
He's got
something ridiculous.
Noodles, 20 points in his last 7 games. McDavid. Those are Gretzky numbers in 84. Dude, that's Lemieux in 88. That's
if he spins a couple more of those segments together, watch out, man.
Yeah. It's gross. But Art Ross and the Hart. That's where Jerry's going with this. And
I'm going to go 80%. I'm going to go 80% because nobody can gain momentum and have people talk about him and gather the kind of accolades that McJesus if he just does this on a regular basis. I'm going 80%, man.
All right.
I'm going 44%. McKinnon's been unstoppable too.
I know.
That's the thing. It seems like it was a one-man race. Now it's a two-man race, but somebody else might slide in there. But McDavid
it's
has
Celebrini. Celebrini is sliding in the MVP combos as well, man.
What a goal he scored last night too.
Dude, disgusting.
What if San Jose makes the playoffs?
It'll be loud for that kid.
He's going to get love. He's going to get love, and it will be well-deserved.
It'll be loud, man.
Watch this goal by this kid. He just does the spinorama, and I know it goes off his leg, but that's a disgusting play.
Yeah.
He is amazing, man.
He is so good.
He's a player, man.
He could play for the World Juniors, and he's probably going to be on the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Playing a prominent role.
A lock.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, Noodles. I think the San Jose storyline will sell and will land with voters more so than the other two because everyone knew Edmonton and Colorado were going to be good. Now, Colorado was so good, it may be extreme, right? I think they still only lost 2 games in regulation.
You actually think, Hayes, people would move off a McKinnon and McDavid narrative and get to Celebrini and the Shark?
He's got to be within within reason. McKinnon's on pace for 140 and McDavid 135 or something. If he can hit, if Celebrini can hit 120 and get San Jose into the playoffs.
What if he hits 100 and gets in the playoffs?
I don't know. The other two are so extreme, man.
It's an interesting narrative. Right now, as we speak, San Jose's in that second wild card spot, tied with LA. Now, everybody's all around it. I get it, and there's still 50 games left. But did anybody on their bingo card have San Jose in a wild card spot
not even close.
Not even close.
October 15th,
the way they started the season, I thought they were going to be even worse than last year.
Yeah, they're
so. I mean, that's the narrative I look at. Is Celebrini's been that good. Greer's made some good moves. Like this, Klingberg has turned the clock back. You see that move the other day in overtime?
Oh yeah, Dallas Klingberg.
He was Forrest Gump. He was Forrest Gump for the Leafs and the Oilers. Literally, Forrest Gump.
Couldn't play him.
But now he's a great player. He's always been a great player, just couldn't get there. Now he had that hip resurfacing surgery. I think that's what it was. Man, unbelievable play in overtime the other day. Unbelievable.
Well, it's too bad Bedard, this injury's probably taken him out of this chat. I do think Makar should get more love than he probably is for the Hart. That guy's on the team, too, that has only lost twice in reg, and he plays more minutes and is just a machine.
I just can't stand it. Happens a lot with greatness. It's like John Cooper. How the hell has that guy not won a Coach of the Year yet? That's insanity. Mm-hmm. They bypass it and look for the unknown story, the coach that's in his first year and a team that made the playoffs that wasn't supposed to. And it's like Jared Bednar for Coach of the Year should be an absolute lock. You can look for the storylines, and I love them too. But Jared Bednar, Coach of the Year, that should be a lock.
Coach said he'd give up one of his kids, and now they're in the playoffs. So that's
okay. If you want to look at that story and for the San Jose coach, that's a great story. If you want to put him in the running as one of the candidates, that's fine. But Jared Bednar, what he's done in Colorado, should not be ignored.
I hear you.
I agree. And Q in Anaheim.
No kidding.
In the Pacific,
Well, that was my stance on McDavid, is that the bar's set so high, people look for other guys. He's just it's got to be so extreme. It's so tough to win a Hart because it's well, what about Celebrini? Look at that guy, and he's got to be unbelievable.
Well, all these pencil neck voters, they look for stick checks in the corner. He had double the other guy. It's so stupid.
Well, McDavid's pretty good at that too, I think.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Jerry's percentages. Good stuff, Jerry.
Good singing, Jerry.
Very quality stuff with a little jingle. Was that JP who added that in? JP's on his game right now.
JP always does great work.
JP, Josh, Doogie, Joe from the Bridge, everyone crushing it.
Yep.
All right, we got Canada. Who are they playing tonight? We got Canada.
Sweden.
Did I just stop? Who is it?
Sweden.
Okay, I should have known
Sweden.
that. Canada, Sweden tonight. Little tune-up game down in Niagara. We look forward to that on TSN. You'll be on the panel. Say hi to Duffy.
I will.
And tell him to start giving McDavid a little bit of love. Please.
That I will as well.
Please make sure.
If there's one guy that's talked crap about McDavid more than you, it's him.
You're the godfather.
Yes.
Corleone, the O-Dog
I
Corleone.
represent McJesus and Brian in the family.
Right. And the family and the interests.
And the family.
The interest of the family. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You get the Jets and the Blues back at it tonight. That was a great first-round matchup last year in the playoffs. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over tonight. Binnington's not playing, but I'm going to go with the over. With these two teams, the way they've both been playing, Jets have got to get going, man. They do. Got to get going.
Yeah.
It is troublesome. Like, you got Hellebuck now. You got to figure this out. I'm on the over in that game, and I'm going to take Florida at home against LA. That should be a good game, but the Panthers are starting to get going. Like, Marchand's crushing it. Reinhardt's on fire right now. And they're starting to make a bit of a statement themselves. Like, they're still in the hunt, still on the outside of the playoffs looking in, but they're lurking.
They're right. Yeah, they're right there.
Right
I
there.
meant to mention this quickly, Brian. I'm the definition, or your definition of MVP, it's Hellebuck. Look at they had 2-8-1 without him, right? Like, that's the difference. Like, this guy comes back in and getting points every night. Like,
it's a great
that's
point.
That's a definition of an MVP.
Absolutely.
How valuable you are to your team, right?
Well, and that's the guy. I mean, as great as, like, McKinnon and McDavid are out of this world. Like, it's got Gretzky Lemieux vibes with these two guys every night now. You know, like, one's got 4 points, the other guy's got 3 points. Like, it's crazy what the two of them are doing. But the goaltending position and Hellebuck and how he represents that whole organization, it's, I think it's unparalleled. Like, everything goes through him. Last year, they were so good in large part, they never gave up more than 3 goals, ever. More often than not, it was 1 or 2 goals tops. You allow your team to race for 3 goals, you're going to win a ton in this league. And he does it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a great point.
Yeah, they've got some games. They've got some games in hand there on San Jose and on Utah and that. So they need to, like you said, they need to get going. And the other thing, it's interesting, and we'll get into it probably later this week or even next week, but I think St. Louis is open for business. Doug Armstrong, I think, they might have to pull the trigger on some trades.
I think so. I think he kind of indicated that to media there today in St. Louis that, it's time to field calls, take calls, make calls. You'll believe it when you see it, but he's a long-standing GM. Like, he's not afraid to be active. So I agree with you. They got good pieces there. It's just a matter of who's going to go in and get them. Does Parayko become available? Does Braden Shen become available? Binnington? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, we got Leafs back in action tomorrow. Ottawa's back in action. A huge Thursday nighter, man. Big Thursday nighter. Yeah. Seattle Rams in Seattle. What a huge game that is. I think Rams a slight favorite as of now, and I expect they probably will be by kickoff. But that's a big game. Big game to start a big week in the NFL. So we'll have that.
Is that
the Leafs,
me and Luke, too?
Yeah, no, I think that's on us. I think that's HBO, which means we'll see if the O-Dogs got what it takes to make a pick tomorrow night. It's a big game. It's a big game.
Yeah.
All right, so that and more coming up tomorrow. Thank you, TSN's YouTube channel. We appreciate it. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m.
We'll chat then.